Everyone, my name is Sayarshit, and today in this video, we will discuss some basic MATLAB programming. In the first one, creating a vector, and the corresponding output will be this one. And if you want to add each an element by 3, and the output will be this one. And assuming a matrix as follows, and the transpose of x will be x dash, and the matrix multiplication of x and y will be x star y, and the corresponding matrix multiplication will be x dot star y. And if you want to make a row vector, uh, a column vector, and transposing the row vector will give the column vector. And if you want to find the submatrix, this is a code, and this is the output. And if you want to delete a particular row or column, and this is the code, and the particular and the output when we delete row is this one, and the column is this one. And if you want to plot any graph by assuming this, here we in this code we assumed some functions, and the output for that will be these plots. And if you want to save two variables a and b in .mat file, .txt file, .xls file with ASCII values, these are the codes. And when we run this particular code, we will find .mat file, .txt file, .xls file. Suppose we have a structure S1 whose weights are ABC, and if we want to save that structure in a new struct.mat file, we have to include this command. After executing this command, I have already executed this. If we execute this command, we can get a new file, new struct.mat, which saves the structure S1. And suppose if we have two variables x and y, which are stored in example.mat file, and if you want to add one more variable z is equals to 9, then this command provides us a chance to include that particular variable to that example.mat file. Suppose we are given a matrix A, and if you want to store that particular matrix in a text file, we have to use this command write matrix. So let's run the code, and we will find that a new file.txt is added here, which stores the matrix A. And if we want to read whatever values of A we have stored in that file.txt file, we have to use the command read matrix. And while running the code, we will get the output is 1 2 3 and so on up to 10, which is same as the matrix. And the next one, if you want to read or write any audio, first we have to load that particular .mat file in the present working directory. And if you want to write that file, or if you want to modify that file, we have to use this command. And if you want to read that audio file, we have to use this command. So let's run the code. While running the code, we can find that we are able to listen inbuilt music. Equation x square plus bx plus c is equals to 0, where a, b, c are some assumed values, and this particular line, for the fourth line, p is equals to a, b, c, indicates the general polynomial expression. And if you want to find the roots of that polynomial expression, which is quadratic equation, we have the function roots of p, and while running the command, we will get these values. The next one, we have to plot y such that y is equals to x square plus 0.5 x plus 2, where x is running from -5 to 10. And by running this particular code, we can obtain a graph where the x values are varying from -5 to 10, and the corresponding y values are plotted. In this section, we will deal some basic commands. The first one is repeat elementary. When we are given an array, if you want to repeat each and every element of n times, then we have to insert the value n. So as we see, the output will be two times that one. That is 1 1 2 2 3 3 3 4 4. And repeat matrix indicates is used when we want to repeat the matrix n square times. If you want to, here I repeated the matrix 4 times, so I used this function repmat a comma 2. And if you want to create an identity matrix of order n by n, we have to use this function I of 2 I of n. The I of 2 will give I 1 by 1 matrix. Zeros of 1 comma 2 gives a 0 matrix of order 1 by 2. Ones of 3 by 4 gives the unitary matrix of order 3 by 4. Here random of 2 comma 3 creates a matrix of size 2 cross 3 where all the integers are random integers. And if you want to convert an array to a matrix, we have to use this code, use this syntax with particular dimension. And if you want to restrict the matrix to have a fixed number of columns, we have to use this code, and the corresponding output will be this one. And if we are given two arrays a and b, and if you want to join them horizontally, we have to use this one or this one, and the corresponding output will be this one. And if you want to join the both arrays vertically, we have to use this code or this code, and the corresponding outcome will be this one. And if we want to if you want to find the diagonal elements of a particular matrix a, we can use this one to find the elements on the principal diagonal, and the output is this one. And if we want to create a diagonal matrix with the given array, we have to use the diagonal of b, and the corresponding output will be this one. Suppose we want to create a new big matrix such that the diagonal of it contains the matrices ACD, then this particular command allows us to do so. So by executing the command, we will get a new big matrix whose diagonal contains matrices ACD. This particular part is A, this particular part is C, and this particular part is D. These matrices lies on the diagonal of the new matrix. Suppose we have a matrix M, which is a 3 by 3 matrix, and if we use this command flip LR of M, it flips the matrix from left to right. So the output will be this one. And if we use the command flip up and down, it flips the matrix up and down, and the output is as follows, this one. And if we want to rotate the matrix by 90 degrees in anti-clockwise direction, then this particular command is useful. And if we execute that particular command, we will get the output, which is a anti-clockwise rotation of 9 of that matrix. And if we want to obtain the lower triangular part of that particular matrix M, this command allows us to obtain that part. So when we execute that code, we will get this one, which is a lower triangular matrix with all upper elements 0. To obtain the upper triangular part of that particular matrix, we have to use this command, and the corresponding output will be this one, which is a upper triangular matrix. And assume that we are given a random matrix of a random 3D matrix whose dimension is 4 cross 2 cross 3. And if we want to change the dimension 2 cross 3, this means that we are viewing the matrix from the other side. So this permute command is used to view the matrix from the other side. So here we are changing the second and third dimensions. That means we are viewing the matrix from the other side, and the corresponding matrix from the other side will be this one. This is the one layer of that matrix, and this is the other layer of the matrix. And if you want to find the maximum dimension, means the largest dimension of the A, then we have to use this one. So here the largest dimension is 4, and we will get 4. And the size of A is the dimension of A, which is 4 cross 3 cross 2. And if we want to find the number of dimensions of A, since it is a 3D array, we will have 3. But when we execute the code, we get 3. And we want to find the number of elements in the array A, and here we will get total. By using this command numeral of A, we will get the total number of array elements, and here we will get total 24. array, and if we want to find whether the given array is empty or not, we have to use this function. It returns a logical value. If it gives 1, it means that the given array is empty, and if it returns 0, the given array is not empty. When we run the code, we will get the value 0, that is k is not empty set. And this circular shift k comma 3 shifts the array elements by 3 positions. That is, the entire array has shifted by 3 positions. That means the last 3 will come as first 3 and the sequence follows. Learning about loops, there are two types of loop, for loops and while loops, and the for loop is given as follows, and the corresponding output is this one. And the second type of loop is while loop, and the basic syntax of while loop is given here, and the corresponding output will be this one. And for the nested loops, we combine two for loops, that is one small for loop inside a large for loop, and the corresponding output for this source code is given as follows. Now we will see conditional statements, if else, nested if else, switches and nested switches. If else statements basic syntax: if one condition, if it is true, then this part will be executed. If it is false, this part will be executed. This is an example. When we run the code, we will get this output. And going to nested if else, we will take an example. And if this part is true, this will executed and this won't be executed. And if this is false, this will be executed. And inside this one, there is another if else loop. The same thing happens there, and the final output will be shown here, which is non-singular matrix with negative determinant when we run the code. In the switch cases, here we pass a variable to this switch complex, and then if x is the value, if x belongs to this one, then this part will be executed. If x is 2, then this will be executed. If x is none, then the default statement will be executed. The same things happen in nested switch, but it is somewhat complex. Thank you.